Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study macroeconomics, income accounting, and in that circular flow of income and methods of calculating national income. Right? So, how do we go about it? We had assumed a very simple economy in which consumer is there, but there is no export, no import, no government taxes, and the consumer has to spend the entire income on the goods and services produced by the domestic economy, right? So this was a model, right? That is called a macroeconomic model. So those things are models are for testing methods, right? So how do we go about it? In any economy that we have talked here about macroeconomic model, you will find when we want to calculate national income, you will find there is a circular flow, right? Circular flow of what? You need to understand this circle. Here are the firms, here are the households, right? Firms need to produce, so they need factors of production: land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, right? So here households provide them. What happens? Households provide them, and arrow goes to firms, factors, services, wage labor for producing goods and services. In return for that, firms make factor payments to households. Factor payments means wages to labor, right? Interest to capital, profit to entrepreneur, rent to land, right? And when the goods are produced, the same people who had helped it produce, they need to fulfill their requirements. So they spend their income which they had got through the firms. This is the income they had got. They spend that income here for getting meeting those requirements. Money goes to firms, and firms supply the goods and services to the households. So there is a circular flow. And considering there is no import export, there is no government, no taxes, no savings, no investment, factor payments made by the firms to the households will be equal to the expenditure made by the households, right, on the goods and services produced by the firms. Once again, factor payments made by the firms to the households will be equal to the expenditure made by the households on the goods and services produced by the firms, and the firms will supply goods and services to the household in return for the money, right? So all these three by that logic will be equal. Factor payment made by the firms to households, household spending, and firm supplying goods and services, the value of all the three will be equal, right? So this is called goods and services, and this is called factor payments area. It's very simple. Money is flowing in a circular direction and it remains the same, right? So here, what do we need to take care? These two arrows represent goods and services market, and these two factor payments market, right? Now we go ahead. Then we come to calculation of national income. So since here it is presumed this and this are equal, right? So through this, household spending on their needs and money going to firms, this is called expenditure method, because they are spending. Firms supplying goods and services to households is called, what is called? Goods and services. So value added or product method or value added method. And this factor payments made by the firms to the household for supply of their labor, this is called income method. So we will go to the product or value added method. Product or value added method. See, here you need to understand, whenever you come across a word production or output, it includes intermediate goods, right? And whenever value added is there, it doesn't include intermediate goods. Suppose I buy raw material for 50 rupees, convert it through the various processes of production manufacturing and sell the final output for 200 rupees, right? So, production or output is 200 rupees, but value added is how much? 200 minus 50 is equal to 150, because I had purchased raw material for 50 rupees. So, value added means my contribution of from X, from Y, from Z, right? And production output includes intermediate goods, but value added doesn't include intermediate goods, it excludes. So let us take a simple example, very simple. Suppose I use raw materials or intermediate goods of 50 rupees and sell the final produce at 200. So 200 is the production, right, or sale output, 200. So what is the value added? Minus 50 of intermediate goods, so 150 is the value added. So in course of producing those goods, I would have used some of my equipments, implements, machinery or whatever capital goods, and they would have undergone some maintenance, repair, replacement. Suppose 20 rupees was the depreciation. So 130 rupees is, what is this? This is value added and this is net value added, or you can call it gross value added, right? Sales value minus intermediate goods is equal to gross value added, and if you further reduce depreciation, then we come to net value added, right? So net contribution made by a firm is value added. Net contribution made by the firm, contribution net, right? So if I purchase raw material for 50 rupees, produce, sell for 200 rupees, 150 is the gross value added. If I subtract depreciation, then I get to net value added, right? So what happens? In an economy, we need to calculate value added of all the firms, right? Value added. If we calculate gross value added of all firms in the economy, that is gross value added or GDP, right? If we calculate net value added of all firms in the economy, suppose there are 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs firms, then we come to net value added or net domestic product, right? So you need to understand, the moment depreciation is considered, that is called gross. The moment depreciation is subtracted, that is called net, right? Suppose there are 1 lakh firms in Indian economy, all are producing, if we are considering gross value added of all of them together, that will form gross value added or gross domestic product of Indian economy. If we are considering net value added of all firms in the Indian economy, means gross value added minus depreciation, then that is net value added or net domestic product of the Indian economy, right? Then what happens, in course of production firms undergo increase or decrease of inventory. How does it happen? Increase or decrease? Suppose I started with 100 shirts and I manufactured 1000 shirts and could sell only 800. So 200 remains of the current year and 100 I am carrying from previous year. So I am left with inventory of 300. Inventory has gone up. Suppose the other way around, I start with 100, produce 1000, but I sell 1050. So I am left with lower inventory of 50. So my inventory has gone down. Inventory is a flow variable because it happens over a period of time, right? Increase in inventory is investment. Decrease in inventory is reverse of investment, right? Accumulation, decumulation, increase, decrease. So the change in inventory, whether increase or decrease, could be planned by the firm or unplanned. It could be both. This could be achieved through a planning. This could be achieved even without planning because unforeseen circumstances. Suppose more than expected sales are there, so inventory will go down. Less than expected sales are there, inventory will go up, right? Inventory is a flow variable. Okay. Then next we go to, so we have already seen gross value added, net value added. So GDP is calculated. GDP is equal to gross value added of all firms. GDP minus depreciation is equal to net domestic product, right? Gross value added minus depreciation is equal to net value added, right? Net value added is equal to net domestic product. Wherever net is there, depreciation is out. Wherever G is there, gross is there, depreciation amount is in, right? So NDP is equal to GDP is equal to GVA, that is correct. Then we go to, here we had seen, what was it? We had seen this was product or value added method. Once again you must remember value added. Value added means my contribution to the output production, any firm's contribution. It always excludes intermediate goods, or production or output includes intermediate goods, right? So that is one way of calculating GDP. And now we will go to the next method, expenditure method. First we saw which method? Product or value added method. Now we will see expenditure method. What is expenditure method? Anything, good or services that a firm produces, people spend on that to buy it, because anything is produced for the purpose of sale, right? So suppose firm A produces several things. So how people spend on that? Through the means of consumption. Who does this? Mainly households, right? Investment, then government, and then exports, right? Here consumption, Suppose I have a household, so I consume so many things. So how do I consume? I buy the products, goods and services produced by some firm. So expenditure method, consumption by households, investment by outside firms in the product manufactured by the firm, this firm. Government also indulges into expenditure on the products manufactured by various firms, and exports. The firm exports outside and gets money. It means outsiders are spending on the export items emanating from our economy. So expenditure method, if we calculate all these four, we get GDP. So here in expenditure method, GDP is equal to consumption plus investment plus government plus exports, right? Plus exports. So the company firm which is manufacturing is getting revenue out of people spending through consumption, firms spending through investment, government spending through expenses investment, and export earnings, right? So this is another way of calculating through expenditure method. Here only we have to take care here that this is gross domestic product. So out of this we have to subtract import element, right? In consumption, we consume several things which are imported. In investment, several foreigners invest in our domestic investment products. Government also, other than expenditure, government also indulges into investment. So we have to take care that we exclude import element from all these three, right? So how do we do that? C plus I plus G minus plus X minus M. This is the X is exports, expenditure through consumption, investment, government, exports, and we subtract import. So we get GDP, gross domestic product, right? C plus I plus G plus X minus M, right? Consumption, investment, government, exports. All these four sources through expenditures are incurred and the money comes to the firm which have produced goods and services. And we need to subtract imports because for imports we need to pay, right? So expresses GDP according to the expenditure method. It may be noted that out of these 5 variables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the most unstable investment, very unstable. It may go down, it may go up. So we have calculated two methods, discussed two methods of calculation of national income, right? Now we go to the third item, third measure of way of measuring national income, that is income method, right? Third one is income method. Here itself we had discussed in the circular flow in the economy. Where is income? From the firms, factor payments are flowing to the households. That is income, income method. Household spending on the goods and services produced by the firms, that is expenditure method. Firms selling goods and services to the household, that is product or value added method. So we discuss income method. What is income method? Here we consider final expenditure is the spending on final goods. It doesn't include spending, right? So what are the methods of income for the factor of payment? We had already discussed land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, right? What does land get? Rent. What does labor get? Wages. What does capital get? Interest. And what does entrepreneur get? Profit. Right? So, if we want to calculate national income, we could very well calculate rent plus wages plus interest plus profit. Right? GDP is equal to rent plus wages plus interest plus, because in the circular flow of economy we have seen whatever they earn, households earn, everything they spend on meeting their requirements, and whatever money firms have got, their value is equal to the goods and services supplied by the firm to the household. Why? Because there is no export, no import, no government, no taxes, no savings, no investment. Right? It's a model. So as per this model, macroeconomic model, GDP here as per income method comes to the calculation of, if we calculate GDP through income method in the economy, we should calculate rent plus wages plus interest plus profit paid to the various factors of production, right? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. That way we come to income method. Now, when you see this diagram, it explains all the three methods in brief. The first one is expenditure method, right? Here we will find expenditure method means firms are receiving money through the expenditure made by the households by way of spending for what? They want to meet their needs. So they are buying goods and services produced by the firm and paying, what they are paying? Whatever they had received as factor payments, right? So here you will find expenditure method, consumption expenditure, household incur consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, various firms invest in the goods produced by the firm, government expenditure, it involves expenditure plus investment both on the goods manufactured by the firm, and plus firm exports, so get some export income, and we subtract import. This we are talking about all the firms in the Indian economy or any other economy, right? So these are the four ways through expenditure are incurred and the money comes to the firm. Consumption, investment, government, export minus import. Second one is income method. Here wages to labor, rent to land, interest to capital, profit to the entrepreneur. These are the factor payments made by the firm to the various factors of production, right? Third way of accounting that national income is product method. Here gross value added of all the firms in the economy, gross value added of all the firms in the economy is called calculation of national income through product method, right? And what was gross value added? If I buy raw material for 20 rupees, convert into finished goods for 100 rupees and sell it off, I get 100. So 100 minus 20, what is that? 100 is sale, 20 was intermediate goods. So what is my value added? 80. 80 is my, but this is gross value added. Suppose I incur 5 rupees of depreciation minus 5 depreciation, so I get 75. This 75 is net value added, right? Net value added. I buy intermediate goods for 20 rupees, convert it through various processes of production manufacturing, sell it for 100 rupees. So 100 minus 20 is 80. 80 is my firm's gross value added. If I have incurred 5 rupees of depreciation on my implements, instruments, capital machinery, capital goods, so 80 minus 5, 75. 75 is net value added by my firm, right? Okay. So all the three ways you count, it will come to the same result, because there is a circular flow of income in the economy. Income, expenditure and products and services, goods and services produced by the. So once again you can have a look. This is the circular. Here are firms, here are household. Firms need to produce goods and services for the purpose of sale. They cannot produce without the help of factors of production. So they engage the services of factors of production for which they need to pay. What do the firms pay to the factors of production? Rent to land, wages to labor, interest to capital, profit to entrepreneur. Firms make factor payments to household. Suppose households are there, right? What do households do? They need to meet their requirements, they need goods and services. The same money that they had earned by giving their labor, employing their labor to the firms, they are spending on goods and services produced by the firms. So whatever money firms had paid to the household as factor payments is coming back to the firms through spending by the households, right? And here you will find in return for that money, firms are supplying goods and services to the households. And this is the provision of factor services from households to the firms, right? So when households are spending on acquiring goods and services from the firms, that is called expenditure method. They are spending and the expenditure money is going back to the firms, which they had earlier paid as factor payments. And when firms have employed their labor, produced goods and services, they are selling it to households, goods and services. So when they are selling it to goods and services, to households, goods and services, it is called product or value added method, right? And here firms have paid factor payments to the household, so that is the income method. Households have got income from the firms, that is called income method of accounting national income, right? And here all the three in a nutshell. Expenditure method we have all discussed. Consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, government expenditure. All these are the ways through which firms get their money back. Export income minus import, because for import they have to pay. All this we are talking at economy level. Income method we have all discussed. Wages to labor, rent to land, interest to capital, profit to entrepreneur, right? And product method we have already discussed. Gross value added of all the firms in the economy are called GDP. So for calculating national income, gross domestic product, we are having these three ways, right? Three ways to calculate. So we need to be mindful. Whenever product or output is written, it includes intermediate goods. Whenever value added is written, it excludes intermediate goods. Whenever gross is written, it includes the amount of depreciation. Whenever net is written, it excludes the amount of depreciation, right? These are the things we need to take care of, right? And in income method we have discussed. Income method, it may be worth examining how the household dispose of their earnings. There are three major ways in which they may do so. Households. Income method. How do they spend their money? Either they consume, right? Or they save, or they pay taxes, or all three, right? income method of households: consume, save, pay tax. Right? These are the three things. Okay? So, in this case, GDP is equal to C plus S plus T. Consumption plus saving plus tax. Right? And other time we had seen C plus I plus G plus X. Right? Minus M is equal to C plus S plus T. So we cross these two and we come to I plus G plus S, I plus G plus X minus M, export minus import is equal to S plus T, right? So here I minus S plus I minus X plus G minus T is equal to M minus X, right? I minus X S plus G minus T is equal to M minus X, right? So I hope you found it easy to understand. In case of any difficulty, you may please approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to this video. Thank you very much.